TV.
Welcome to Our Story, Stories That Unite Us, a show which celebrates those experiences we all have, simple or complex, large or small, happy or sad, that shape our lives. Today, we have a special treat for you. We join our guests who will be sharing with us their traditions from around the world. Did you know that there are over 70 languages spoken in Grey Bruce? Today, we get a chance to experience some of that diversity. Please join Mary Jane Murray as she introduces our guests.
Well, thank you, Richard, because it's my pleasure today to be able to introduce our following storytellers. And our first storyteller is well-known May Epp. And May immigrated to Canada from Hong Kong in January 1995 and moved to Grey Bruce shortly after. While raising a family, she volunteered in elementary schools throughout the region, promoting Chinese heritage. And today, her story is about the Mid-Autumn Festival. And welcome, May. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. So my name in Cantonese is Yip Kei Mei. Yip is my last name and Kei Mei is my given name. But ever since I was small, even in Hong Kong, people call me May. So this is what I'm known by. Mid-Autumn Festival, also called the Full Moon Festival, is the second most celebrated Chinese festivity after Lunar New Year, and it's very similar to Thanksgiving here. It is a celebration of harvest, and we celebrate Mid-Autumn Festival in the 8th lunar month on the full moon night. So our calendar is not aligned with the Western calendar most of the time because we go by the moon, the phases of the moon, and very often the 8th lunar month in Chinese in our Chinese calendar falls between the later part of August and the middle of September. So the best thing as a child that I like about the Mid-Autumn Festival is playing with lanterns. So I have brought some to show you, and so this is the one that is very very common lantern. So what we do is we have some candle to put in this the stand, and then we stand up and then light the candle and open up. So just imagine that it is like a little lamp that you're holding in the dark, walking all around in the park or on the streets. And so as a child, that is the only time that we get to, like a bunch of us kids with parents around, but a bunch of the kids will walk ahead and playing with the lantern. So I think it's maybe hard to imagine what is the fun of it, but I think the fascination is that we get to be walking in the dark and seeing the little dim lights around us, walking around. So that is one thing. And then when I was a kid, sometimes we go to the park, but sometimes we also play on the roof where I live. We live on a seven-story house, and there is a family with 7 kids, and me and my brother would go onto the roof with them and play with lantern. So I brought a few lanterns here to show you, because the lanterns are made in very different shapes. So this one, it may look familiar to some of you. So if you look at it from this side, you see that it is like a star. So it is actually a star fruit. So this is a star fruit lantern, and then we have this little bunny. So there's a story about the bunny on the moon that goes with the Mid-Autumn Festival, but I'll save that for some other time because I may not have time to talk about it today. But this is another very popular one among kids, and this one is fancy because it has wheels, so we can actually pull it around when we're on the street. Now my favorite one is a goldfish. So this one is is not made traditionally, because traditionally the frame, the skeleton of the lantern was made of some kind of plants, and then we use paper to make the outside. And but this one is not meant to be for candle, because it doesn't have the hole here, so it is for decoration. So I keep this one I have this one for a long time. But as a kid, at the end of the night, we will burn all the lanterns, and then the next year we'll buy new ones. So this is the fun part of it. And so for the Mid-Autumn Festival, it is actually, like I said, is a celebration of harvest. So we have some very special food that we will eat. So one of them is the starfruit, because that is the season that we can get it. And then the other one is a moon cake. But unfortunately, moon cake is only sold in Chinese grocery store just before Mid-Autumn Festival, so I wasn't able to buy any to show it to everybody today. So at the end, during the time that when we celebrate, we will put out all the food, and then we have food and play with lanterns. So I think that is something that every year as a child I look forward to the most. And when I was raising my family in Sabo Beach, there were only 2 half Chinese families, and so one is mine. The other is a family who had the restaurant at the time, and back then. So what I did when I started going into school, I invited my kids' friends. My kids were back then were like in kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2. So I invited their friends to come over and play with lantern with us. We went to I don't know if you're familiar with Sabo, so there is the field behind the library and the community center. So we would go there, and we lit the lanterns, and then we walk around. And I remember the first time we had the kids over, the kids were like, "Oh, we can't play with fire." So I said, well, there are adults here, and the lanterns, the candles are very small, so it is safe. So I will watch, and so they all got comfortable with holding their own lantern, and we walked around like a little parade behind the community center. And yes, those were good memories. So with the Lantern Festival, it's very important for families, because we get together, and also the full moon represents a full circle, right? So it's like a whole a circle of family coming together to celebrate. So that is the Mid-Autumn Festival.
Well, we are having such an interesting time today on Our Stories That Unite Us. And we have another guest with another holiday tradition to celebrate with us. And I'm welcoming Lillian Holding. And she is a second-generation Greco-Canadian and daughter of Earl Georges, as also a lifelong Owen Sound resident. Although the families strive to be Canadian outside of their homes, language of their homeland, customs and traditions, religious practices, celebrations, and cuisine were continued within the home. Cracking eggs at Easter is a custom that continues to be celebrated over the generations. Cracking eggs. Welcome, Lillian.
Thank you. We're looking for lots of fun when you come to our family parties. I have a second name as well. My name in Greek is Stavroula, and I am named after my grandmother, Sadie Skopas. And I am second generation here in Canada, my dad being the firstborn here. I have to admit that the traditions of the family carried from my grandparents and their gatherings for their celebrations over the seasons. For Easter time, the Greek follow the Gregorian calendar, not the Julian calendar. And so actually the Greek Easter runs about April the 3rd through the first week into May. So I was very fortunate. I got to have 2 Easters. One was the Easter Bunny and that side of the family. And the second was actually coincided with the return of my grandparents, my yaya and my papu, from their sojourn in Florida over the wintertime. So the word would go throughout the family. Mom and Pop are home, so we're going to have our Easter gathering, and then the aunts and my mother would start cooking. And my goodness, I am one of 27 grandchildren, so you can imagine those 10 children, my aunts, uncles, and my father, all came together with their children. There was always room for extra people to come as well to the table. So we shared our time at St. George's Church, because there was not a Greek Orthodox church in Owen Sound. So it was for quite a few years, in my father's years growing up, that my grandfather would hire the Greek priest to come up from St. George's Church off of Bond Street in Toronto, come by train, and they would have him overnight, so he would be able to be present and break the fasting with the early morning Eucharist to be able to then have our feast. So I'm going to go back to my own story, just the fact that we would get up and we would get all dressed up in our finery, and my mother would bring all her food dishes out, and we'd drive down to the house. We called the family home the house, and in we would come, and I had all these aunts and uncles, and I was tossed like a doll from one to the next, saying and having hugs and kisses, and my mother would make her way through to the dining room table. So you have to imagine there was at least 50 people in that dining room, and we would circle around the table. There were about 3 rings of people circling around the table. And in that time, my aunt had made boiled eggs and colored eggs. Now traditionally, the eggs are colored with onion skins, and names were scratched on them as well, so we were all guaranteed to have an egg. And this was important. Now the egg tells us that it's actually for birth and life. But it also, in the Greek tradition, red, it depicts the blood of God, of Jesus Christ. When you crack the egg, that is the opening of the tomb. And so I knew that as a young child, but I didn't understand all of the religious connotations because I never really attended the Greek Orthodox ceremonies. I'd like to just say a moment here. My grandfather would have been the 6th generation of a priest or brist in his hometown of Agalona in Greece. But he came and was sent to North America to work and send money home to the homeland. Anyway, he was a very religious man, as my grandmother was as well. My grandfather would always write his welcome speech to everybody who was coming, make note of who wasn't able to attend and the reasons why, and then he would give a blessing to the food on the table. And that table was just laden, and I remember every dish, side by side, shoved in there. There was lamb, and there was turkey, and there were domadas, stuffed grape leaves with a lemon sauce on them, and then there were the cookies, and they were the curumbiadas, a soft butter cookie with white icing sugar on the outside, and baklava. I make those cookies, and my cousins and my children and my family all say I have taken on the role of the storyteller and the home pastry maker in our family. So I feel that I'm blessed with that. Part of the thing as being a child was being able to look forward to Greek Easter because we got to play a game. It was for egg cracking, and it's actually clinking eggs, and it just connotated that when the eggs cracked, if your end was whole and solid, you would be able to turn your egg around or go to the next person and be able to crack that person's egg. When you think about 50 people doing this, so that was, a good 10 minutes. Meantime, you're thinking about the food on the table and you're salivating. But we wanted to play this game because at the very end, my grandfather would pull a silver dollar out of his pocket, and whoever's egg was left whole would win that silver dollar. And I was very fortunate because one year I got that silver dollar. So now, if you would join me, Mary Jane, please, and select an egg here. And you're going to hold that in your fingers. Now, I just wanted to say, too, that, yes, they're a little sticky. Apologize for that. The whole thing is, my grandfather would say, Christos Anesti, and that is Christ has risen. And then we would answer, indeed, he has risen, in Greek. And again, I'm only a part Greek, so I don't know all of the words, but I can say Christos Anesti. We're going to crack eggs, and we're going to see who wins that dollar, okay? So, Christos Anesti. There, hit me again, hit me again. There we go. Okay, my end is broken. I'll turn my egg around. You can hit me again. There we go. Oh, so then you would turn to the next person to your other side. You eat these eggs quite often. There would be eggshells all over the place, so we would have to pick those up first of all before we could then you can put your egg back in there.
May I ask a question?
Yes. Oh, yes.
My egg has not cracked on either end.
Oh, well, aren't you just the lucky child? Because I have a toonie here for you then, okay? Congratulations. This will bring you a year of good luck to you. Traditionally, in the old school, whoever won with that egg would keep it for a year. So they would have the good luck for the whole year, and then it would be discarded just before the next Easter celebration then. So, anyway, so there you go.
A whole year of good luck.
A whole year of good luck.
Well, that's amazing. It is amazing that we have so many cultural traditions and holiday traditions that we celebrate in Grey and Bruce. And one we have now coming up, I would like to introduce Corrine Patricia Stewart Sallows. And Patricia, welcome to our story. Corrine was born and raised in Montego Bay, Jamaica. She immigrated to Canada in August 2012. She moved to Grey Bruce, Owen Sound in 2016 after she got married to the love of her life. And Corrine is a skilled and wonderful cook. Her lifelong dream is to open a Jamaican food truck. Well, that sounds like fun. And she would also like to share her favorite holiday tradition, the Reggae Sunfest. Thank you, Corrine, and welcome.
Thank you for having me. Well, I'm from Jamaica, Montego Bay, Jamaica. I migrated to Canada 2012 in August. And I was living in Toronto before coming into Owen Sound. And Owen Sound has changed my life so much, so drastically. It gave me a lot of exposure. My growth have been, since I come to Grey Bruce, it's amazing. I get involved in so much different things to do. My amazing job where I'm off for almost a year now because of eye issues. And it's nice being in Owen Sound. From where I'm from, I celebrate history of reggae, dancehall, carnival, and the most of Reggae Sunfest. It's amazing, traditional. It happens every year in July, and it runs like for 5 days, where you have one night you will have sound clash, one night you will have like just dance and music, and you will have one night where people get together and play music, and then the most part of it's like Friday and Saturday night, where you have dancehall night, where you find all the reggae artists, they come and they sing and dance. And then on the Saturday night, now you have international night, where people all over the world come and perform. You have like, we normally get our big entertainer like Chris Brown, Akon, and those people come to Jamaica. So it's a very big festival every year. And it's running for a couple years now. So that's one of our most traditional in Jamaica for dancehall reggae music. And one time we used to have Reggae Sunsplash also. Before Reggae Sunfest, we have Reggae Sunsplash. And that fine in 1948, where Cocotee and Bob Marley and the Wailers, those were the days. But now we have Reggae Sunfest, where more popular, it bring in a lot of revenue. We have like people will cook and sell, people will sell their tradition things, what they make, like shirt, bracelets and stuff like that. So it will run for 5 days, and that's a very good revenue for Jamaica, Reggae Sunfest. And for my history of growing back in Jamaica, Easter, we celebrate Easter different, where we make bun and cheese, and we cook fry fish. So on the fry fish, we will normally make like onions and carrots, and we saute them and do and pour it on the fry fish. So for the Easter, that we would do that in April, and Reggae Sunfest always keep in July. So people come to our country for most of the food and the music. And then we have another big event also, the Carnival. Every year we have that too, where all people from all over the world come to enjoy our festival and our dancehall music, what we call reggae. Yeah, so.
Welcome our next guest to our storytelling chair that we've set up today. And Anna is from Ukraine. And Anna Adovian was born and raised in Ukraine, and due to the ongoing war in Ukraine, Anna emigrated to Canada. Anna is a skilled graphic designer. She is currently working with the YMCA Community Services, and she would like to share her favorite holiday tradition called Malanka.
Yeah, Malanka.
I'm glad I got that right.
Yes.
Welcome,
correct.
Anna, and thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I want to tell you about the Ukrainian holiday called Malanka. This holiday is celebrated every year in Ukraine on January 13th. Yeah, it's 13th. It's the night before the Old New Year. And this holiday is very ancient. Sorry for my English, I will try to do my best. Yeah, and Malanka is a time for people to come together, dress up, and bring some happiness into a new year. And I have some pictures with me. So here is the children. This is the Saint Melania. That's why the celebration calls Malanka. And this is the Vasil. Yeah, and this holiday is about starting fresh as winter ends and spring begins. Yeah, and the most fun part of Malanka is the dressing up. So yeah, people wear costumes, and sometimes it's animals. Like this one, we have rabbit, pig, and I guess it's a wolf. I'm not sure, actually. Yeah, and a big god. Yeah, and evil, sometimes it's a devil, but I like this kind of devil. It's creepy, I think. So yeah, and in Canada, I know in Canada it's popular to celebrate Malanka in some big cities like Toronto or Vancouver. Yeah, so it calls Malanka balls with the food, dancing, and some performances. So yeah, and this is it about Malanka.
And our next storyteller is all the way from Turkey. And Khadija was born in Turkey, and she loves to dance and sing and do volunteer work. And today she's going to share with us her holiday tradition of Eid. Welcome, Khadija, and thank
Welcome.
you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So tell us all about your special holiday event.
Yeah, we have a Muslim special holiday. It's called Eid, Ramadan, the first one. We fast 1 month, and the whole month we start in when the moon is set down and stop in middle of the night. We stop the Eid, and until whole day. And when the sundown set down, and we start to eat for whole month. All day, no drink, no eat, no anything, just for whole month. End of that, the month, we start celebrate the Eid. Similar is Thanksgiving. All the friends and family, the children, and we have to prepare, buy new clothes before 5 weeks. Just the new clothes for the kids, and buy candies, big meal, and prepare that. And at the end of the day, we start the holidays called the Eid. And the kids, they love that. When I was a child, I sit down all my new clothes near my bed and put the bag beside me to start to go in the morning. Say to kiss my family hand and get money. Each one we have to kiss the hand and get money, and we go for my family or relatives to say like is Halloween, which say trick or treat, say Eid Mubarak, and they give candy and money to the kids. And we end of the day and dinner time, big meal. Make chicken, meat with the family, all the relatives, the sister, brother, together. And we finish that in Ramadan. Between Ramadan and next holiday is called Eid Adha, the 2 months and 20 days between that. And the Eid Adha, we don't have to fast, just big holiday. It's similar to the Eid Ramadan, but different is 4 days we have to celebrate. And in the morning we have to cut big sheep, lamb, and sell together with the family. And big dinner, big meal, and go with each friend, all families, mothers, and gifts. We have to buy gifts, and similar is the Christmas too, and I enjoy it, and still I love it because I still continue in Canada. When I came to Canada, and I find the Arabic people, and I said, oh, we have to enjoy that and do it similar in Iran, and Syria, and Turkey. And my kids, I raise my kids with that, and they love it, and still they go with that, and we love the Eid, excited for it, and I like the candies more when you go get candies and money. When I was a child, I still remember. And my kids, they still continue that. They love it. When they said, Mom, where is the Eid coming? Where is the Eid? They're waiting for the Eid. And I said, okay, just wait. We need it. It's Ramadan. And I raised my kids start Ramadan when they 8 years, their age. Teach them to start just having the day, not whole day, because they're still a little child. And when they turn 12, they fast like adults, because it's very hard to, they miss the drink, most eat. I remember when I started with my son, Muhammad, he was 11 now. Last year, I started with him. And he said in the middle of the night, the day, he came to me after the school. He said, Mom, I'm tired. I need to drink. I'm very thirsty. I said, okay, you have to drink. But I teach him a little bit, step by step. Not, I said, okay, you have to fast. Not like that. It's very hard to do it. And he liked it. And last year, he's fine with that. And maybe with this year too, because he will turn 12. He good with that. To fast.
And thanks for joining us today on our special holiday-themed episode. Until next time, what's your story?